All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Hey, Mike, how's it going? Appreciate you stopping by. I'm going to get the challenge guillotine piece till February. I got to rank all the champions. There is some of that that's going to be involved. I've got one more champion I've got to rank up. Um, I have one of the two primary ones ranked. At least what I'm feeling is going to be the primary ones. I've got Guillotine 2099 already ranked up. Hey, Frozen. Good afternoon. Kind of all welcome into my second stream of the day. Did my early morning World of Warcraft stream that I've got going. In that series, I've got this stream now. I may do one more tonight. Haven't decided. Depends on what the evening holds, and I haven't decided what I'm going to do. I am staying out of Battlegrounds until the next season. Last night was both good and horrible at the same time. It was not much fun. Too many losses, too much frustration. I don't think I want to put myself through it again. I'm at peace with not finishing as high as I wanted to. But anyway, so there's my rank 2 Gilly 2099. The other champ took her up a little bit this past time, level up. Got one more level I want to put on her. And I think those are going to be the two big clears. I may even throw some Sig Stones into her. Not really sure. Probably going to be useful. So I think I'm going to probably throw some Sig Stones into her and get her up to R4. I have the Sig Stones. I've got the items that I've got to use some of my trophy tokens, or I may get close to capping out. So once the rewards start coming in for the season. But other than that, that's really the plans. I've been told there's a path in the second section for the second quest, Act 8.2 for Bahamut, that Billy's really good for. So we're going to try that with her. I don't know if okay, I've got 36. I've got that. I've got more than enough items to rank her up. I just don't know if I may have nope, didn't have a 3 to 4 anymore. So she'll go to R4. Nothing in there preventing me from it. If you're looking for something to do, I saw someone beat 5.4 Ultron with 2-star Loki. Yeah, I've done it with a 3-star, and that's enough for me. I don't need to do a 2-star. You kind of do the Loki cheese and copy their buffs and stuff like that. And yeah, I did it with a 3-star for Karina's, and I don't feel the need to, good thought. I don't feel the need to do that. What I'm going to just probably be doing this afternoon and streaming mostly is, just really wanting to talk, have a conversation about anything in game. And then, it's really right now about the milestones. Getting those arena milestones done, getting everything ready for why are 6-stars showing up in there? I have it selected, for the banquet event. You think it's just worth ranking Gilly 99 and normal Guillotine? That's my plan. I just don't see the other champions in there as being that useful. I'm going to be hard to get Morningstar ramped up. She really takes 4 fights. There's 6 fights on the path. Would you do it? Yes. Is she going to be worth all the headache? Don't know. I don't know enough about Purgatory to really say yes or no. I could rank her up if need be, but not one I'm thinking that I want to do. So not really sure there. The other two I know I can use from time to time. So let's go take a look at the path that they were talking about. So, because I haven't looked at it yet, so it'd be a good time as any to go into 8.2.6. There's one that provides a heal, so that when he's healing up, and one of Guillotine's things that she can do is take advantage of that. So we'll take a look at it and see. It is on the outgoing. Let me see. Let's look at it this way. I think if I look at Bahamut, and get his incoming, we'll know which one it is from there. It's not armor. Heal Sponge. Full power mastery potency is no longer reduced. Every time the attacker is healed by him, he gains 1000% of the heal, but he cannot recover his health above the current phase. So with that, and I don't have a browser set up yet that I can access. I'm going to fix that. You know what? I think I can do it this way. Give me 1 second while we talk. I'm going to get Firefox downloaded, and I forgot to set that back up since I got my new computer. And that's kind of what I used for sharing Aunt May, because it was just the quickest and easiest browser that didn't have a bunch of other stuff running in it. But let's go ahead and get that downloaded and installed. It'll take just a second. Something may get a little choppy here as the hard drive grinds to install it, but we'll take care of it. Yeah, the 8.4 Punisher should be a little interesting if that ends up who it's being. I'm hoping they're not teasing that. You know, he looked awesome. You got that hammer and that axe. It's going to look really, really cool. And boy, that's, you know, mesmerizing there, what I've got up on the screen right at the moment. Skip that step. Let me sign in. Just let me sign in, please. Skip. Start browsing. There we go. Now I can sign in. Perfect. And we can go here. And now, I don't know if this will... Hey, it did work. It just showed up. That was pretty cool. I didn't even configure it. Let's turn it on dark mode. Okay, so now when we look at Guillotine, wherever she's at. Dun, dun, dun. Let's pop these open. So, I'm not sure exactly how it works, but, you know, she's going to heal up some of the damage that she takes. She's going to siphon off some of it. I'm trying to think. You've got the pain link debuff. So any non-physical damage taken by Guillotine, which there's some of that in there. The special 2 puts the Spectre debuff, so it's going to reverse his regen, and that's the big thing. So, you know, when Hamet is healing up, it's actually reversing it, so he's actually taking damage. So, you know, that's kind of going to be one of the good ways to handle that. Hey, Ryman, how you doing? So that's going to be the path. So it's whichever one is the heal sponge. Is that Professor X? Yeah. So the Professor X path here, Professor X, Red Guardian into Omega Red, and then I think it is the bottom. Nope. Which one is the heal sponge here? Well, where does it go after that? It's got to be one of these 3, right? Or maybe it's another one. Maybe it's just the heal sponge for those 3. I can't remember how 8.2 works. Or see the end of the path. Ah, there it is. So yeah, it's the Crossbones, APOC, Daredevil, Omega Red, Red Guardian, Professor X path. Yeah, you can use Guillotine 2099, or you can use just regular Guillotine. Let me see if I can find the COC Guillotine take down of how do you spell his name? There we are. A-M-E-T. Let's see if I can find the video real quick. And here is one. I'm going to put a link in there. I haven't watched these. Yeah, the Mystic Gilly. Oops. There is one link here of somebody using Guillotine 2099 for all 3 bosses. So that's something that you can look at. And I know I saw the video the other day. I'm trying to find it. I may have to post it later, of a regular Mystic Guillotine taking her down. Yeah, that's the one I was worried about, but I was told, and I was given the link to this video, and now I'm gonna have to go back into line chat, and I don't have all that set up. But yeah, so there, I'll find it. But at least that one is a Guillotine 2099 taking all three. She's probably going to be a big part of it for me. I don't like her that much, but it is what it is. I'm going to have to use her. So MSD may have. I'll find a video and maybe have it for later on, or put it in my community feed or something like that. But I think I'm kind of ranked up, ready to go, looking forward to it. I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna jump in there tomorrow. That was the other thing. I have got work tomorrow, then off Thursday and Friday. So I'll probably let everybody do it, tomorrow, figure out best paths, figure out, what works best on the fights. Excuse me. And then I'll jump in there Thursday or Friday to knock it out and get it done. So, I'm looking forward to it. That's going to be fun. We've got the banquet event starting up. That's going to be a blast. We were joking in our alliance, how quickly do we think we'll hit the milestones? And then we realized the amount of whales that are in there, we'll hit them pretty quick. This content is permanent. No. Sort of. Maybe. I don't think it, I'm not sure if I don't think it's permanent, the way I was understanding it. It's, gathering the pieces of the Deathless champions. The events are only going to be open in-game to do it non-unit based for a short period of time. And then it's going to convert to something different, so it's more, you have to pay for it. That was my understanding with the Deathless pieces. I could be wrong, but this isn't, permanent count. No, it may, well, I don't know. I know the other pieces weren't, so this one may be a Karina base. So, but as far as the champions, you can use any of the four. So Guillotine 2099, Guillotine Mystic, Morningstar, or Purgatory. You can run a team of 5, so you have one champion in there twice, but you cannot use any of the other champions, and you cannot use the selector node at the end to change the champion in. So, that's kind of the hard part. You've got to use the team that you bring in. Hey, Luis, thank you very much for the sub. Greatly appreciate it. Welcome to the channel. So yeah, if you don't mind checking, that'd be great. I can look it up. I was thinking they had said all the pieces when they first announced them, when they come into the game, were just going to be temporary, and then other ways of getting them. And I can go look it up too. Let me. Okay, fire away with your question. You can bring 5 champs for the boss. No, you can use any champ you want. You can make your team of all 5 of them. So I'm trying to find the article in here. Where do they have it? I hate how some things are in news and announcements and pinned. Some things are in general discussion and pinned. There we go. So let's look at it. I'm just going to go ahead and share this, and we can look at it all on screen. There we go. I can make it a little bit bigger, I think. There we are. Now maybe I can't make it any bigger there. Doesn't really come much bigger. What happens if I expand it? Maybe this will work a little bit better. Let's see if that'll zoom in at all. one less. I think that'll work right there. So for the 5th and final piece of the Guillotine Deathless Sword, the challenge is Guillotine's challenge, complete Act 8, 1/6 with only Guillotine 29, Purgatory, Morningstar on your team. So there's a bunch of 7-star shards there. It's same with the other two. Trying to see if they clarified at all. Yeah, you can use any combination of these champs, just can't be anyone not on the list. So you could do 5 Guillotine 2099s if you wanted to, whatever you needed. Trying to see if they ever clarified. Just looking for any Kabam comments. There we go. Do all 3 have to be in complete in order? Yes. Is the challenge permanent? Will the 7-star Guillotine or Deathless Guillotine piece be removed at any point? Is that permanent as well? The piece will always be there. That was all that they said, was the piece will always be there. And I don't remember them clarifying any more. I know it was asked in here, and I haven't checked in a couple days. My reading of that meant that the quest wasn't going to always be there, but the piece would be there that you could buy, because that was what they originally had commented on, that if you don't do the content, it will always be available to buy later. Yeah, they didn't ever clarify any more than that. So I guess to be determined. So we'll have to find out there. I'm not sure. My understanding was that they were going to be removing the content, so could be wrong, but I'm thinking that clarification will probably come tomorrow. You'll see it as either, if it's not in the Karina's challenge section or special challenges, and it is just a, in another area, if it's in special, it's going to be short term. If it's in like the Karina's challenges, yes, I know I have some to do. It may be more permanent based. I don't know. We'll find out. You can straight buy it. What they have said, it was going to be a significant unit cost. Kind of like, I don't know if... Yeah, you can look there. I mean, you can get the blade tip for 30,000 trophies, or the Deathless Soul for 600,000 loyalty. I don't know what it'll cost for the last piece. And that's just the 6-star parts of it. The 7-star, they said they would be available, but it would be unit-based, if I remember correctly. It was on a live stream. I'd have to go back and find it, but I think that is what they said. Someone feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. I have been wrong before, and I will be wrong again. But I believe that is what they said. I'm trying to see if I can find any other information out on it real quick. Looking in line, trying to find some stuff if I've got it. Yeah, I don't see what's there. Yeah, it's kind of worth doing the quest if there's any way that you possibly can. I mean, that's 15,000, 22,500 7-star shards. That's, a crystal and a half. Plus, you get the guaranteed 7-star at the end of it. To me, that's kind of worth it. That's part of why I'm running it. I guess it's just 2. So it's 1 7-star shard and the body for the last part of it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure when they start selling the pieces, it's not going to be cheap. But that is their catch-up mechanic that they were putting in place for this content, because they have to do something, because not everybody's going to be able to do it right when it comes out. Am I free to play? No. I do spend as needed on the game. I don't spend a ton. I offset it with arena usage. I will run milestones and have hit milestones in every arena for quite some time. I can't remember when I haven't met the milestones in arena. You'll see here, it doesn't take me very long. I did run the first 10 matches off stream, but it'll take me an hour hour and a half maybe to complete this. And I've got to set up the volume differently on this. I hear an echo of the game through my laptop. Let me go ahead and turn the volume down on that. I got a new computer and things just aren't set up quite the same way that I like them, so I'm going to turn the volume down there. Because it does throw me off. And don't ask me why I selected Shuri to go against Kingpin. It is not an ideal matchup. It's, you know, really the exact opposite of an ideal matchup. It's still way too loud. Okay, maybe that's soft enough now that I don't hear it. And hopefully that doesn't affect the sound on the stream, and it does not look like it's doing that, so that's good. But, you know, like during the last event, the Cyber Weekend, I did spend a little bit of money. You know, it wasn't extravagant, you know, but I'm in a spot where I've got some income that I can use to buy some things in this game. Bam hates me, so I want to spend, but they block the shop. Yeah, when you're from another country and all that, it gets really hard with international purchasing laws and things like that. I feel for you. You know, that makes it rough. You know, being in business and doing stuff like that. Fortunately, right now, the company I'm working for currently does not do anything international. I've worked for international companies before, and it is navigating tax laws, navigating international, you know, currency regulations, things that you can buy, things you can't buy, things that are regulated, things that are not. Really makes it hard on companies that want to run a global enterprise. So unfortunate that they do have to block things like that. But this is, you know, most of my units, I would say, you know, I tend to like to keep, it used to be 15,000 units. Then they started, you know, bringing out more and more deals for units, and the unit deals cost more and more. So now I try and keep 20,000 units at all times. Just kind of my personal preference. Yeah, I'm a big whale in different games, but yeah, I've heard of Genshin. Haven't played it, you know, and I'm glad that there's stuff out there that you can, you know, and I'm glad, you know, this game isn't 100% friendly to the free-to-players. It does take a lot of time and effort into it to stay free-to-play and stay kind of up at the upper end, and that's kind of all that I use my money for. You know, I'm in one of the higher alliances in the game, and I spend to keep up with prestige and things like that. I don't buy every deal. You know, that's beyond me. I like eating, and I like, you know, doing things with my wife. I like to travel a lot, so a lot of my income goes to that. Oops, I didn't mean to make that time there. But, you know, I offset. I spend a lot of time in game. So, hey, Vital, how's it going, man? I appreciate you stopping by, and I appreciate the like even more. So, you know, it is just, it's kind of a, you got to do what you got to do in the game to get by if you can't spend. You know, and for the longest time in the game, I was free to play. I started off probably my first, let's see, I would say probably first 3 years free to play. Or thereabouts, maybe a little bit longer than that. And then got into Loki, and spent a little bit, here and there, not a whole lot. And then I became the leader of 2 Loki and spent some more because I felt like if I was leader and I was asking guys to put their prestige up and hit a minimum level, I needed to do it. So there was that. And then I joined 4 Loki and said, yeah, I got to keep up. I spent a ton when I first started playing to get a good level for like 4 to 5. Yep, that's where I'm at. I'm stopped spending so much on RNG based things. My roster's got the champs I need for the most part. Would it be great to have Onslaught right now? Oh, heck yeah. Did I go out and spend money to do it? No. So RNG things I tend not to spend on. I spend on rank up materials. Give me the items that will help me take my champions up to whatever the next tier is. So, and that's all I spend on. The only other thing I do spending-wise in the game is I've got the daily card for units. I mean, it's such a good deal if you're going to buy units that you've got to have it. And I get the sigil card every month. So $15 a month plus, a little bit here and there when the deals come out. I'll probably spend some on the banquet event. We'll see. The milestones aren't great, but it is one of the bigger events and it's kind of fun to do. So there's a lot of things to open, which is always fun. And I'm kind of, after Cyber Weekend and a lot of the rank ups, I am starting to feel ISO poor in some classes. So I need to get some ISO. So opening crystals isn't a bad thing. Became Cav after 2 months from Cav to Thronebreaker. Took me 4. Yeah, that's pretty darn good progression. I've got a second account that I play that, I got to Thronebreaker, and I really don't have much of a desire to take it up to Paragon at this point. Hey, Mickey, how's it going? So, yeah, I think he will stay Thronebreaker for the foreseeable future. I don't have the time or the energy to run a second account through all the content that is there, and I'm definitely not paying. That account is 100% completely free to play. Wasn't originally. I did buy some stuff originally, so I don't have the original deals, but it's been free to play for a while. And I do get, the only other thing that I got that I will say that I bought on that was the Deadpool events when they do the daily calendar and stuff like that. I did buy those on there. It was only $10 for the 3 months or whatever it was, or $10 a month, and the rewards were incredible between the units. And then, 6-star crystals, Paragon crystals, all that kind of stuff. Hey, the other black man, how's it going? I ain't gonna take a while, but I did my initial. Hey, there you go. That's pretty darn good. I've got mine out there. I did mine a little different. I did not Abyss. What is the name of that stupid Necropolis? I did it my way. And is that the way it's going to work for everybody? Nope. But it was fun for me. Once I stopped stressing and just having fun with it, it was the most fun I've had in any content in the game. Ready for this banquet clown fiesta tomorrow? I'm a bit more excited about. I am getting ready for the banquet. I'd love to be at 30,000 units. So between this arena grind and the few battle chips that I've got, I'm hoping I get there. I don't know why. I'm not going to spend that much, but it's just kind of the hope. I may spend 10,000 units and then rebuild back up for the next event, which would be probably Valentine's Day, Love is in the Air. And if you haven't completed Necropolis, it may be worth waiting for that too, now that I think about it. The Love is in the Air, there's a lot of health potions, a lot of revives, a lot of stuff that comes in that content if they do it again. And those didn't have a cap, or the cap was really high, so it would give you some more revives and all that, because I used a bunch of those for my runs, as stuff that I had saved up from past couple, events in February. Yeah, Wong is very good for it. You know, I didn't have a ranked up wand, so didn't bring them. I just used Aegon and, like I said, had fun with it. You know, that's the key to the game. That's why I started streaming. That's why I did Necropolis the way I did with it. I just want to have fun. You know, I've got my full-time job. I teach classes at night. I've got enough other stuff to do that brings stress and, you know, makes me work for my money. When I sit down and want to play, I just want to play and have fun. But the Gillies Challenge, the other black man, I won't be doing it tomorrow. I have meetings tomorrow. I'll be watching the streams and all that and kind of getting some tips and hints. I will be in there Thursday or Friday. And I will run it all live on stream. You know, planning on, you know, running just the double team of Guillotine 2099 and Mystic Guillotine with the, see how it goes. It should be fun. You know, I posted if you scroll up in the chat, I haven't watched it yet, but there is a video of Guillotine 2099 taking out all 3 of the bosses. So you'd be able to tell which paths they took, what the nodes were, and how to do it. You see the added... Oh, yes. You know, they weren't the greatest rewards, but you know what? I'll take them. You know, anything they want to give me for free, I'm not going to argue with. You know, Titan Crystals, it would take a heck of a lot of deaths between now and the middle of January for me to be able to get another Titan Crystal from those rewards. But, you know, I will take anything they want to give me. And there's so many rank 2 18-20-99s, and I hate fighting her. Especially with somebody like Core. You know, I'm not going back in there to die more. There's others that can. I'm done with the content. Not stepping foot back in there. I'm so glad that he said there's another challenge coming early next year, and it's not going to be going back into Necropolis. That was my biggest fear. You know, I'm so glad they're not making us do that. That would be painful. Having to go back into the Abyss was more pain than I can deal with, and that's why those Karinas 2 are still sitting there. So the other black man, are you running it tomorrow? Yeah, once you've run it, no sense in going back in there. I don't want to see challenges in there. I don't mind if they throw out a 3-star challenge for existing other content. Nothing long form like that. That is just, while I enjoyed it, isn't something I'm going to do again. And I always get this guy and Mystic Spidey mixed up right at the beginning on which one you can parry and which one's light attacks. My Gamora R3, no. That is a 7-star R1. I've got a 6-star R3, but I've got 3 rank 3 7-stars. It's Shuri, Hulk, and Thor. A few R2s. As my game lags out there. I don't have a lot of R2s right at the moment. I'll have to look at them to see. Titania is probably the one that I use the most. I'll pull them up here in a second when we finish running through this round of arena. Yep. Oh, so you'll be in there tomorrow. Awesome. Let me know how it goes. You know, when I start streaming, join and give me some tips and hints and pointers. I don't have a whole lot of vibes built up yet. I don't think it's going to take a ton. You know, the paths shouldn't be too bad. There'll be some tricky fights in there. What's my opinion on Werewolf by Night? Good champ. Have I used him? No. I do have him as a 6-star. Trying to get used to the animations. Don't have him as a 7-star. I can tell you there are people in for Loki that swear by him, that he's very good. Like I said, I don't know a whole lot about him yet, so I'm not the best one to answer that. I mistimed that. Just don't hit spanking with a special 2. Thank you. We'll see if the special 1 can finish him off, and I don't think it's going to. There we go. Would I use him as a 7-star? Yes. Most definitely, he'd probably go from right to rank 2, based primarily on what I have been told about him. You know, I know, you know, guys in the Alliance, Buddy, Mike, Legacy, Andy, Adman, Clown, a bunch of them like him. A bunch of them have him and like him. So, you know, but you know, the way champs are nowadays, there are so many, and there are so many different things that they can do. Go with champs that you like to play. Go with champs that fill a hole in your roster. Don't just rank because, you know, someone on YouTube said that they were good. And that's kind of my thought process on all of this, on every champ. Man, if that was your first Titan Crystal, that was a good Titan Crystal. Let's see, 7-star Gilly, 29.99 should be reviewed. Yep, that's kind of my plan, just those two. I got 20.99 at rank 2. Regular Gilly will be rank 4. I plan on using 30% boost the whole way through. You know, I don't... It's probably not common knowledge yet, but you know, 4 Loki may or may not be pushing in War next season. You know, I'm going to use the 30% boost. If we end up pushing in War, I'll buy more, but the nodes, the holidays, just aren't going to make it worth it, in my opinion. So, but my opinion is only one of 30 voices. Wow. I don't remember who I got for mine. I know I got Vox from the last one. I got Lady Deathstrike and Shield, I think, are the 3 that I've gotten. $200 Titan shards. Well, you know what you know the answer to that. No, I've got to set some stat focus. The answer to those 200 Titan shards is Paragon crystals. So spend, you know, $2,000-3,000 on Paragon crystals. You'll get those 200 shards fairly quick. Got any tips for which content I should target? I just reached Paragon and only have 3 7-star champs. Which content do you have left to do? I would say Acts 7 and 8. If you're not 100% on those, do it. There is the what is the 7-star shard? Permanent one. Shooting stars. Do that. You know, you won't be able to run all the paths, but there are some good shards there. You know, if you've got the 6 stars for it, run, you know, definitely do 8-1, 8-2, 8-3. Stay away from, you know, Abyss. Stay away from Necropolis. Oops, I missed the unblockable coming. You know, those would be my recommendations. Definitely focus on the axe. You know, the other thing that you can do that's pretty good is do the do the monthly EQ, highest level that you can. Especially if you can do the Paragon, the Throne Breaker, and then do the Paragon Challenge at the end. You get good rewards there. Right now I have 8.37172 fully exploited. Yeah, do 8.2 and 8.1 like Ryman said. 100% those. Rewards are still good. Rewards will definitely help you out. Make sure you've done Shooting Stars. That's a fairly easy quest. It's got a gate so that you have to bring a certain number of 7-star champs into some of the paths, but for the most part, they're pretty easy. It's fairly quick as well. We'll get you some more 7-star, possibly more shards to get another crystal. Prioritize Act 8 though over all else if you've got limited time or limited energy and limited resources. That would be where I'd focus. And then go back and do 7. Completion in 7 is still real relevant rewards for fairly easy, and I put easy in quotation marks, depending on what your roster is. It could be harder than it is for others. But definitely finish Act 8.1, 8.2. Really? First time being here, enjoying the content. Oh, appreciate that, man. Anytime, be glad to help you out, answer what I can. I am not. What you'll find is I'm not the best at the game. I've been playing this for a while. I play with some folks that are the best. I look at the folks that are in 4 Loki, and right now, for those that watch the Summoner Challenge, 4 Loki has 4 of the 8 that were there in the Alliance right now. So I play with some guys that know this game inside and out. Our officers are incredible, so I use them as the knowledge. I just, I'm riding their coattails. Oops, I can't use him in there anymore. He's rank 4. So let's go with... Where did I use him? Thought I could put him in there. Come on. Fine. I'll grab him. Oh, I used him starting the arenas. That's where he was used. First time using Vox. I don't think I've used him at all since I ranked him, or since I pulled him. I wish they would buff this guy instead of buffing Luke Cage again. I love the animations and the look of Gladiator Hulk. He just, when he hits something, it just looks like he smashes it. And we're just going to push. Crush Paragon on a bit. Yeah, I got Paragon a little later than some. It was probably 4 months after Paragon became available that I finally completed everything needed for it. Valiant, on the other hand, was pretty much as quick as I could get it, which was with the Cyber Weekend deals. I got in there, I got my first path done, and just kind of bought my way up. Do I use Kitty in War? No. I do not use Kitty anywhere. We don't assign Kitty in War. Period. Not anymore. Legacy has a bunch of Kitty gameplay out there when she was really, really, at her best. But with the health pools the way they are now, and the way the nodes are, she's a great champion, but if you mess up using her, you're not surviving. Took 3 7-star star 2 yesterday to boost my defenders, Mangog, Overseer, and Terax. Oof. Well, I said I was going to do it. Let's go ahead and just reset this, and then I'll grab my 7 stars here so we can look at them. So we're going to do 7-star. So the rank 3s, there they are. Shuri, Gore. Gore was defense. Hulk. All of them are pretty good either way. You know, you see Hulk and Shuri mostly on attack, but they're both very good for defense as well. The rank 2s, Maestro, Hulkbuster, Chilth, who I really like. I want to awaken her. I would love out of a Titan Crystal to pull her and awaken her. Sauron, Bishop, Titania, Mysterio, Chavez, Mantis, Guillotine 2099, Magog, and Kindred. Kitty's not bad. She is just what's considered a glass cannon. So she hits hard, but if she gets hit, she's not going to survive. You know, same could be said for a lot of champs, and the idea is not to get hit, but the way you have to play Kitty is a little bit more aggressive and does not always lead to the best results in war. That said, those that are better than me may run Kitty, may run Ghost, stuff like that. What's everyone's favorite champ to use right now? So like Tigra, exactly. Great, you know, great comparison. If you play her right and you play it, phenomenal champion. If you mess up, you're dead. I don't run champs like that. My favorite champs are going to be, and I can best signify this by who I ascended most recently. I like champs like this. Look at that base health pool. 89,000 health on a 6-star champion. I like champs like that because when I boost him, he's up to 135,000 health. If I die, I don't want to heal him up, but you know, it's going to take it's going to take a few hits even at, you know, with war defenders. He's a chunky little boy. So I like those big health pool type champs that if I do mess up and get hit in the face, I can survive it. And that's kind of my plan. When I do war fights, that's how I approach it. It's like, okay, you know, here's my plan going in. Here's how I want to do the attack. But if I get hit in the face, what am I going to do to survive? You know? So him, Hulk, Shuri, you know, if you go back and look at my war videos, you can kind of see who I like to use. The nice thing about the officers and 4 Lokis, they try to put us with champs that we like. I use a lot of different champs. So, you know, it just really depends, you know, and I know Brian Grant kind of came up with this terminology for the game, but this is truly a game of rock, paper, scissors. You know, you've got to determine what you need and rank accordingly. You know, one of the champs I've got ascended, I will probably never use again for, well, I won't say never, but it'll be quite some time. You know, I did ascend Aegon to get me through Necropolis. You know, it got me through the content fairly quick. Hey, Chris, how's it going, man? Hey, first one of those for the day. Game decided it was time for a good old-fashioned restart. So, you know, Morbius is kind of cool. I use him a lot on my second account. He's one of my few 7-stars I've got. Yep, you know, if you're good with Tigra, she is a very good champ and has a lot of uses and all that. You have to be good with the spacing, good with the timing of certain things, and that's not my forte. I am more best suited for, hey, this fight, you're going to take this champ, you're going to do a 5-hit combo, you're going to parry, and you're going to do another 5-hit combo, and then you're going to throw a special, and then the fight's going to be over. Those are the fights I like. I get hit in the face enough trying to do that. You know, that's why, you know, it's just I know my shortcomings, and that's kind of part of the fun of this game. I know what I can do well. I know what I can't do, and I kind of focus and go from there. That's a good fight. If you can do Domino with Tigra, you know. Away! I'm gonna take hits. There we go. Yeah, if it, you know, especially if it's in this last meta, with that power gain, if you can do Domino with anybody, it's a heck of a job. I hate the meta that's in the Gladiator circuit right now. That's why I'm not running BGs right now. But, you know, so, and that's a good spot, you know, for those trying to learn the game. I will say, my game skills, my ability to survive in war and play just game overall improved dramatically running Battlegrounds. I mean, it night and day. You know, you get practice fighting under pressure, more or less. I mean, Battlegrounds doesn't really amount to much unless you're competitive like me and want to win everything. So, you know, that would be my tip if you're struggling. You know, you can do one of two things if you're struggling when it comes to game content. Keep practicing the game content over and over again. You know, like when I was running Necropolis, I went into each of the starting paths and kind of did those off air because I used it for a lot of practice. You know, I probably, with the Titania fight, exited out of the game and restarted that fight 30, 40 times until I was comfortable that I could get her down in the number of revives that I had. Hey, but yeah, going better than last night. I'm not doing Battlegrounds. I'm done with the meta for the year. Or for the season. Oh, I guess that's for the year. More or less. So this will finish this week. When does it come back? Battlegrounds comes back on the 27th, so almost this year. This is just a stream to take a nice little breather, sit back, relax, and be ready for the next content that comes up. Yeah. I wish I could set pre-fights in arena modes too. That would be kind of cool. Should have taken this guy against 4. But and rooted and special and perfect timing, perfect placement. I've learned a little bit of how to fight him through war. Didn't fight him clean in one single war, but I've learned a lot. And the other thing that you can do if you're struggling against a certain champ and you do like Battlegrounds, don't ban that champ in Battlegrounds just because you don't like fighting him. Keep him in there. Force yourself to fight him. Force yourself to learn him. That's what I've done with Maestro. I'm going to start doing that with Onslaught. I haven't fought Onslaught once yet, so I am going to wait and do that once I have fought him in the event quest, which will probably be tomorrow. I may do an afternoon, you know, if I've got time in the afternoon. I'm not going to do the challenge. I may do just running some event quest. Right, I mean, that's exactly about the way that I did 8.3. It was just a blur. And, you know, in a way, I like it. But I made a comment after 8.3, you know, in the reduced number of paths, it felt less. And it should, because it was less, but it just felt like it was too quick. It was fun content. It just was over too quick. You know, I don't remember much of Act 7 or 8. You know, the content was so quick, so almost trivial, that I remember Act 6.2 so much clearer. It was just because it was so hard. Yeah, I'm ready for Act 8.4. I didn't look at any of the beta stuff. I'm just ready. Not necessarily for the content, but for the rewards. That's all that I want. I'm thinking 8.4 is February. You won't see it January. I'm thinking February. I am thinking it'll be February. It would be nice if they brought it out in January, but I don't think we'll see it that quick. Oh man, I hate Spider-Gwen. Yeah, I signed up for the beta as well, and I don't recall if they ever granted me access. I never even tried. I don't recall seeing the login screen ever pop up, so I don't know if I missed something. Oh, you're running unfazed? Come on, dude. Turn that crap off. I just... unfazed and this little kicker. This has been fun. I don't want to die though. Gotta kind of pay attention here. Yeah, if you qualify for it, if it hit the level that they're looking for people to do it, you'll get an in-game mail that they'll send out about the beta. And not everybody gets it. They're looking for certain markers and certain things that you've either completed or certain champs that you've got on your team, stuff like that. There's some scale of how they determine. Yeah, that's the joys of fighting Spider-Gwen in Arena. You don't ever have a champ that can count on her, and the AI gets wonky. Best way I can put it. That's a weird term, I know, but it just doesn't ever flow very well. And then he was running unfazed. Oh, really? She glanced that. And, you know, unfazed is one of those oft-forgotten masteries, but it's a pain in the butt when somebody's running it. And they have an evade champ, so when they evade you, it turns into a stun. Do you think exploration rewards will get another R3? Debating if I should go back. I would explore Act 8. I would definitely explore Act 8. My guess is probably yes on the R3. I think that will be the next time that we see... Next time that we see an R3 will be completion. I don't think you'll see the stuff to get another one before then. They made the comment on one of the live streams that they were going to slow down rank ups, you know, at the first part of the year. I think that will be probably it for until July. I don't know. I don't think you'll get enough in spring cleaning to do it. Not based on their comments. Now, that's always subject to change because it is Kabam, and they want people to spend on the game. I hate his animations. Come on. Just let me stun you. Let me get a heavy off, and let me do this. A4 gives R3. Yeah, I think... Oh, I don't know about that. I think Act 8... or exploration will give it. I don't think 8.4 will give an R3. You'll get one. I really don't think you'll get more than one from completing Act 8. You'll get a 1 to 2 for 8.4. I just basing off what they've said on live streams about how they're trying to slow down the progression. That, you know, they unleashed a torrent of new progression, new title, all that real quick. Kabam is semi-smart in the fact that they then want to slow it down somewhat to let people catch up. It would be very, very dumb of them to not put in a mechanic or a slowdown to let people catch up to, you know, some of the upper ends. They're not ever going to catch, but you need to keep the gap from being too huge. Even the gap, you look at Yusafa, who, got the biggest account in the world. I took him, we played a friendly last night in Battlegrounds. He, his roster's bigger. I could have won that if I had played better and been smarter. Roster only accounts for so much, so they just need to keep it so that it's a fairly even playing field. It's never going to be even, but at least the illusion of it helps out. So my thinking of kind of progression goes, you'll get July 4th will open the proverbial floodgates on rank 3s. That's when they'll become more readily available. And you'll start seeing them you'll start seeing the rank up materials and more content. It's already kind of opening up a little bit with raids, new milestones, the upper 10 alliances, I think, get the catalyst for rank 3. So you'll start seeing that a little bit. Just kind of watch the in-game quests and all that, and you'll know when things will come. And right now, I just don't. I could very well be wrong. I just don't think it's there quite yet for 2 R3s at the end of 8.4. Unless that content is a heck of a lot harder. Because think about it, they just released Necropolis, hardest content in the game, longest quest, and you get 2 through there. 8.123 don't hold a candle to the difficulty of Necropolis. But, you never know. Kabam can do whatever they want. It's their game. I just don't see them doing it. Let's go this way. But, anyway, I'm, kind of the progression I see, 7-star rank 3, I think, will become more readily available after July 4th. That's just the way. They've got to keep it rare enough to make July 4th, a big boom in business. It's the way I view it. It's the way I think. I'm not a BAM employee, but just kind of the way my thought is that kind of makes sense. Keep it a little bit low key, then release it on July 4th when they can make a bunch of money. So you'll see those, and I'm guessing rank 4s will be probably be about a year and a half before you probably see the first one. They'll run rank 3s for a year and a half before they start releasing anything that's a rank 4. Just kind of my guess. I don't. They surprised me with rank 3 how quickly they released them, so I could be wrong. But Act 8 will probably give 1 T4A exploration and most likely. I just hope the boss in 8.4 is easier than boss in 8.2. Bahamut wasn't too bad. Once you figured him out, Bahamut is a lot easier if you've got like a Shang-Chi. He made the fight very easy. And that's one thing I will say about the fights that they put in at the end of 8.1, 8.2, and 8.3. The fights are tricky. They're fair. And if you have the right champion, if you're lucky enough to have the right champion in your roster, they're fairly easy. That said, you got to have the right champion in your roster. So, you know, Shang-Chi made that fight a lot easier for most paths than, you know, other champions. You know, he just kind of worked around the abilities of Bahamut much easier, much quicker. Oops. So, if you've got a Shang-Chi, he makes that easy. You know, Citalis and 8-1. Any of the mutant champs that get prowess. Really, the big one there was Bishop. Bishop worked very well for her, at least for me. That's what I used on my second account to kind of rinse her pretty quick and easy. Then 8-3, I had pretty good success with Angela. Can't think of who else I used. Angela was probably the one that I think I used. I'd have to go back and look. Yeah, however you say his name, he's most likely going to be. Yeah, let's see if we can kill him. Should be able to. What is it? Glycon? Is that what they called him? I think is how it's pronounced. It's going to be fun. You know, it's going to be annoying, but I think it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I will say I've been very pleased with the tuning of the various quests and things like that. I think it feels fair. You know, Necropolis aside, you know, for the most part, you can do Necropolis however you want to do it. To me, it was, you know, even with the number of revives I used, I chose that path, and I chose to do it that way versus, you know, Abyss. I think Necropolis was tuned much better. You know, it seemed more fair. I'm glad they got rid of things in Necropolis like, hey, we're just going to have the champs randomly evade, whether they have evade in their kit or not. Every champ's just going to randomly evade, and you're going to have to deal with it. Or, you know, every 10 hits, if you don't bring in a tech champion, they're going to gain, you know, a bar of power. Granted, there were some tricky nodes and stuff like that, but, you know, I thought it was more fair. You know, there's really only a couple fights where champions healed up. You know, Airwalker was bad enough. Oops. I pushed him too far. That was interesting. I evaded and got hit at the same time. All right, let's blow you up now. Goodbye. So, you know, I think they've learned a lot, and I've enjoyed the Act 8. I've actually enjoyed since Act 7. I know some people claim that it's too easy. I think it's fair. You know, and that's kind of the way that I look at it. You know, the story content should not be the hardest content in the game. I know that's not what others say, but it's story content. It tells the story. You want everybody to be able to know the story. So you got to make it so that people can see the story, experience the story, read the story. In order to do that, it's got to be scaled down so you don't have to be the best player in the game to see the story. So I've enjoyed, you know, I did run Act 6. I completed it back when it came out. But, you know, I spent a lot of units doing it. How did you, oh, I forget. I get unblockable. You get unblockable. So, yeah, I think it's been done very well lately. I think tuning down the story quest, making it a little bit more accessible, making it a little bit quicker. While I would like to see a few more paths. You know what? Let's do the bearded group. I love running Punisher 2099 and Beardo together, and we're just gonna throw another bearded one in there. But yeah, I think with the addition of several people that have played the game for many years to the Kabam staff, started with Dorky Diggity Dave, then you've got Daddy Longlegs, you've got Nah, you've got people like Karate Mike, you've got content creators in there. They're starting to really hit their stride as far as where the level of difficulty should be, I think. You can't... I don't think the game would be as successful as it's becoming if they made content that was inaccessible. Act 6 was brutal. I'm glad they... Yeah. I look at... And I don't know if any of you were playing long enough. Do you remember it was a short time quest called The Maze. I think, if I remember the name of it correctly. It was, I think, 4 paths. And they pretty much said, unless you're, one of the best of the best, you're not going to 100% of it. There was fights in there that were just, at the time, unless you were the absolute best at every aspect of the game, you weren't getting through it. I tried many, many times. I don't think I know I did 100% it. I think I got 2 paths of the 4 done. If they put content out there like that today, half the game would riot. You'd have the select few that would love it. And, I think there's got to be something out there for, the MSDs of the world to challenge them. But, in order to make money in this game, you have to make it accessible to the masses. And honestly, it's a game. Got to make it fun. I personally do not find it fun, and if you look at my first run through Necropolis, I wasn't having fun. I was worried about revives, I was worried about cost, I was worried about gameplay, performance. Just no fun. Once I got rid of that and said, hey, let's just have fun with it. That's when, and I think that's what Kabam has taken away and does, now, is they try to make it challenging but fun. And I like it. There are, for the best of the best, play Battlegrounds, Alliance War. Those will challenge you. That's where the best of the best need to be. All right, where are we at in this? It's at 9.5, so not too much more to do. But yeah, I agree with you, The Other Black Man. I'm glad they are listening to the feedback. I would love to sit here and say I was one of the best and could do all of it, but I know I'm not. I like it a little bit easier. I like it so I can enjoy it. Why, in a way, I kind of enjoy Arena. I kind of enjoy Alliance Quest. It's good content. The maze back then was not... Yep. So you remembered. I thought maybe you'd be around long enough to remember that. That was... I think that was... I'm trying to remember what... I think that was 5-star rank 1 and 2, maybe? I'd have to go back and look. It's been so long. And maybe it just been 4 stars. I think that if they released the maze today, it would still be a challenge for some people. I mean, it was rough. One of the things I do miss that they used to do a lot of, was the boss rush challenges. You know, the celebrities, things like that. That was some fun content. That was you know, tough but fair. You know, and I know you know, Eternity of Pain was kind of like that. It was the modern version of it, but I missed the kind of the monthly ones. After Act 6, story content has become more enjoyable, more manageable. It's nice to be. It's nice. Yeah, that's, to me, it's not supposed to be. You know, and depending on who you listen to on your streams, you'll get people upset that it's not harder. You know, I don't mind them putting in content that's hard, but to me, story content shouldn't be. That defeats the purpose of the story. At least in my opinion. I wonder why the maze did not become permanent content like Grandmaster's Gauntlet. It was before they did all that. You know, it would be. I'd love to see them. In a way, love to see them resurrected. You know, bring it a little bit more modern, make it more like, you know, more like Grandmaster's Gauntlet. You know, maybe about that level, where it's tough but fair. A lot of those fights weren't fair, if I remember them correctly. You know, I remember trying to use a 4-star torch on one of the fights, and 2 parries and I was dead. That's about all I remember of it. It was brutal. And that was the first, I think that was the first piece of content that they released that they said wasn't going to be permanent outside of, you know, the monthly event quest. You know, I applaud them that they tried something different. It just wasn't any fun. Yeah, so that's kind of my thinking as well with it. I'd love to go back in and explore it. Even if you put it out as a Karina's challenge, where you have to use the champ levels that were available back then, you know, maybe no more than a 5-star rank 3 or whatever. Put the exact same content in there, you know, put it at the level cap. I'd love to try it with some of the champions that are available today, or now that I've played the game much longer and know how to play a little bit more, try it again. Just checking some messages here real quick. Sorry, I got to respond to one real fast. Okay, sorry about that. So yeah, that would be, to me, it would be kind of fun to do. You know, it was tough back then. It would be kind of cool to see it updated and where it's at now. I'll have to bring that up to a few of the content creators and see if they can put a bug in Kabam's ear. I think that would be a cool Karina's challenge to have out there as permanent content. As much as I hated it back then. But they have to make it a little bit more accessible to be able to complete. Now, kill yourself hitting it. Come on, I wanted you to just hit my block. I almost got you down just hitting in my block. Let's see. How did that come up with the name Safe Fossey? Is that your last? Nope. I'll explain it here in a second. Okay, so Safe Fossey. I've told it a couple times on here, but really, the name comes from. I used to play Counter-Strike. Not the Counter-Strike you guys are thinking of. Go way, way back when Counter-Strike first came out. It looked completely different, and I was in a fairly competitive team. Early esports and all that. And I'd love to play a sniper. And, I would always say after I would get a kill, with it, that was easy. And it morphed. So that was easy. If you know French, c'est facile, that's easy in French. So we were playing, if memory serves, it was a team based out of France or something like that, and we had to have voice chat on for both sides. And so I said that, and then it kind of morphed from there to Safe Fossey. It was also nice that there's not very many other Safe Fosseys out there in the gaming world. Most of the gamer tags I used before then got used elsewhere. So that's really what it is, and that's kind of what it means. It's just a really bad butchering of some French. And it just became kind of my gamer tag. I've been running that since, I'll look it up here in a second, see when the original Counter-Strike came out. There's been other ones I've used, but that was the primary one. Let's see. There's bound to be a Wikipedia page on it. Counter-Strike. Let's go ahead and I'll bring this up. Let's see here. They have years now. They don't. Originally modded for Half-Life. That was the one acquired by Valve in 2000. So original Counter-Strike was, playing it was around 2000 to 2002. So it was a while ago. All right, let's go ahead and get these guys in there, see where we're at. Almost the whole way done with it. I will finish that one up. I have forgotten most of it as well. I took 4 years of French in high school, and a couple years of it in college. But I can read it, or at least some of it. I can't speak it. I can't understand it when it's spoken to me. I can read it and understand. That's about the extent of it. So that, it was just something that came about naturally. And the main tag I used all the time was Talon Hawk. If I was playing a MMORPG, some of the early ones like EverQuest and all that, that was always the name I would grab. So, yep, Kal-El. I know it, Superman. So yeah, most of my gaming experience has been in MMOs. So I tried to pick names that other people weren't going to grab. Something that you weren't going to see or wasn't going to be claimed, if I went to a new one, so that I wouldn't be able to use it. So, I figured, Safe Fossey was pretty safe. And if somebody else has it, I know where they found it originally. And who they stole it from. All right, let's put in now the rank 3s. Couple of these, and not too bad. What is that? Stream's been an hour and 28 minutes. I've talked and done a bunch of other things, so not too bad. An hour and a half, 2 hours max for the featured arena. And all I do is milestones. I am not going for onslaught. I will not go for I won't say I won't go for a feature champ. It's not going to be anytime soon if I do it. See, I love that story to the name. No one would ever guess it. Yep. And they probably wouldn't even guess it then because it's such a butchering of the phrase. You know, say Fosse versus say Facile. It's close, but I don't think they would put 2 and 2 together. If they did, they did. You know, they would know that means, in my mind, that is easy. You know, so I joke around that I'm, you know, kind of the old guy on the block, but I've been playing video games for a lot of years. You know, my reflexes aren't what they used to be. You know, used to be fairly competitive in a couple games, and now it's more for fun. I grew up with computers. I grew up playing computers. I grew up playing games. Went to school to learn how to do all that stuff. You know, spent many, many years of education in the IT world and all that to have a job that is in that, you know, that field. So. Yeah, I wonder how you got your username there, bud. Why don't you tell the class? Oh, come on, dude. I hate your upgrade and your stun resistance. Half stolen. I wonder who the half that you stole were from. That's right. I take it as a big compliment. I believe it was one of yours. Yep. Oh, it was one of mine. But yes, I did get it from a book. But Talonhawk was all mine. That wasn't from a book. That was mine dating back to EverQuest, and then couldn't use it in WoW, and it just kind of faded away. So my reflexes are not what they used to, and I don't think I could play a game. Yeah, you know, I like this game because it's not too much. You know, I tried, oh, what was the Transformers one? Whatever the Kabam Transformers one, I can't remember what it was called now. But there was too much. Yes, it does. Something with bird last names that kind of is fitting. But Forged to Fight, that was it. So I tried that, and there's just, when there's too much going on, too much I've got to keep track of, just don't want to do it. This is just enough. I mean, they're starting to introduce more and more debuffs and buffs and statuses that show up under the nameplates that just make the game a little bit more complicated. I can only pay attention to so much. My fingers can only move so fast and do so many things. So. But it is this is my stress relief. This is my, you know, like I said, I've got a day job that, you know, can be stressful at times. I've got, you know, I teach for a university at night. So, well, that works too. You know, you could do simple things like Brian Grant, You know, can't get much easier than putting your name out there. You know, rethinking it. If I knew I was going to stream this game and do a YouTube channel and all that stuff, maybe I would do my name, but probably not. I put my face out there, that's enough. Probably more than some people want, to be honest, but that's enough. And if I'm completely honest, and I think my son, who's here in the chat, will appreciate this. When I first went to college, my first couple years there, I didn't do very well because of gaming. I wanted to game, I wanted to play, I did not want to go to class, all that, so I put in 3.5 years and said, to heck with this. I got a job as a manager of an electronics boutique and figured, hey, that was going to be my career. That's what I wanted to do. That's all I ever wanted. And that lasted for a little bit. And then I opened my own company, started my own internet service, and that was well until dial-up 56K connections disappeared, and high-speed connections started coming in. So sold that and went to work for other companies and decided, you know what, I want my education. I had kids that were growing up and getting older, and I felt like a hypocrite saying you had to go to college. So later in life, I went and got my undergraduate degree in industrial technology, got a master's in information systems, got a master's in business administration, and got my doctorate in technology management. So I actually teach project management, IT project management specifically for Western Governors University. So, it was, once I started going back to school, I fell in love with it and liked it and kind of continued on. And it's helped me out. It's got me the kind of the day job that I've got and a lot of the flexibility that I have with my day job, and, kind of the reputation that I've got in my day job is based on that. It makes my job much easier to have a lot of education to pull from. So when I talk, and come up with plans and all that, people kind of listen a little bit. You have to be brave to put your face out there these days. People can be toxic. Yeah. Yep. They can be. And it's also being there's a few of us that stream that are also professionals in other things. Putting your face out there when I have a professional career that has nothing to do with gaming, probably in the circle, and I know in the academic circles, would be very much looked down upon. Oops, I pushed him red. He's not going to blow up in time, so we're just going to do this. Just wait, one of these days it will be doc. No, I'm not ever going to put the doctor. The only one that I ever want to call me doctor is my dad. I joke all the time. I was kind of the black sheep. I did things different than what my brother did. And I know my dad did not always appreciate it, but he was a medical doctor. He wanted somebody to follow in his footsteps, and I said I never would. But now I get to joke with him that I've got more initials after my name than he does. And that's good enough for me. And there we are. 7-star featured. Yeah, it's a little flex. It's not much, but it's the flex I can do. And there we are. There's the 7-star featured arena done. The stream's only 1 hour, 37 minutes. The first 10 fights, which I did off stream, probably took about the same amount of time as what it took me, as we talked about. The Guillotine challenge coming up tomorrow. So it really doesn't take long. I'll do the other arena probably later. I complete that one. That one takes about the same amount of time. I run the same champs. I don't segment them out, so I kind of wait for my 7 stars and all that to refresh. Then I'll run the basic arena with the same team, usually in about the same amount of time. So 2.5, 3 hours every other or twice a week gets the arenas done. For anybody who doesn't run them, it's not that time consuming. And what I can do now is completely, please configure both primary and backup streams correctly. The comparison of streams failed because one of the streams, what in the world? I've not seen that one before. I'll have to look that error up. Didn't know there was a primary and a secondary backup stream. Okay. I'll have to look into that error. That's a new one from there, but now I can completely stink at Alliance Quest in front of everybody. Nope, do not call me professor. I don't let students call me professor. Students can call me by my first name or my last name. They don't need to call me professor. They don't need to call me doctor. Don't want it. That's for people that are a lot more pretentious than I am. You know, I understand why some, you know, doctors want it. It's primarily medical doctors. They've gone to school for a long time. They've earned it. But us academics that put the initials in front of our name, that's just for status and all that. I'm not. I don't need it. I don't call been calling my professors professor either. Some of them demanded it, but it's enough for me to know I went to school and got all that done. There are days that I'm still thinking about going back for some more. Want to get some type of degree in cybersecurity. Just haven't determined if I just want to do certifications or if I want to do like a master's or something like that in it. Yeah, I paid a lot of money for it, but it's paying me back. You know, most companies, when you get job offers and stuff like that, based on educational background and job background and all that, pay more for certain certifications and things like that. So, and it all balances out in the end. You know, do want to get cybersecurity, do want to, you know, do a little bit more. Don't know. I may go back. May just take classes. Don't know enough yet. Want to learn more. It wasn't so daggone expensive. Certifications are bad enough nowadays. It costs me several $100s a year on average to keep up all the certifications I've got. And I've let several go over the years just because I didn't use them very often and there was too much to keep running. Too much to keep the continuing education units going and too much to recertify every year, every 2 years, depending on what they were. You know, I mean, the dream was always to be, I mean, for the longest time, when I went back to school, you know, my dream and kind of why I chose some of the classes and majors I did was that I could work for like Blizzard or somebody like that as a product developer, a product manager or something like that. Oh, why did I do this? It's just going to take 5% of my health. Had a feeling he was going to stay alive after that. Hey, I'm not completely screwing up the fights right now. It's nice when I can use Maul and can't get hit. We'll get hit when we go to Hercules, though. Because why not? Okay, throw a special now. And they can say they haven't changed the AI at all, but you can watch me run this path and see how long it takes them sometimes to throw specials. When I'm just standing there wide open, not blocking, not touching the left-hand side of the screen at all. Now that is something I was never very good at, was art. And that's kind of why I got out of computer science and computer engineering and all that. Is back when I was doing it, computer scientists, those that programmed, were more or less expected to be able to do the art. Yeah, I'll do a friendly. Let me finish off. Okay. Thought for a second there I got an intercept in that I did not mean to get in. We finish this fight, take out Professor X, it'll be quicker. These fights with Maul are slow because you have to sit through special 3s. My wife is going back to college online next month. I've been thinking about getting into cybersecurity as well, but unsure. Check out Western Governors University if you're thinking about going back to school. Kind of a neat program. Granted, I teach there. I don't get paid any commission or anything like that. But they do education a lot differently. You know, it is more skill-based. So, for example, in the classes I do, they have to present, you know, their plan for a paper or how they would approach a project, things like that. And it's scored off of that, off of more real-world scenarios. You know, in the IT classes, they have to, the first class they get to is, you know, you're level tier 1 support, and you've got to troubleshoot, you know, customers' calls when they come into a help desk. Things that you would do real world. Cybersecurity is the same way. More education based on real world. Show me you can do that, and then you'll pass. The other thing that's kind of cool is the way they work their tuition system. It is, you pay pretty much a flat rate. If you go in and say, hey, I think every month and a half, whatever the terms are, I can't remember exactly. I think I can complete 1 class. That's what you pay for. Or you say I can complete 2 or 3, and you, however many you can get done in that time frame is what you can get done. So you can get done with your education a lot quicker and a lot cheaper. And I like that, you know, there's not as many multiple choice tests or fill in the blank or stuff like that. It's a lot of paper writing, a lot of real world scenario, but it's going to be things that you're going to do more of when you get into a professional job of whatever you're going to school for. Programming is art. It's an art form. They are artists, but I'm talking about actually drawing art. Well, yeah, that's half the problem, though. If you're running an IT help desk or doing any type of IT work, you can't assume the person on the other end has any skills whatsoever in doing anything. I deal with that all day long. People from our stores will call in with problems, and you're asking them questions, and they have no clue. I mean, I deal with people that have used the same computer login for years. I mean, they've been employees with the company for a long time, and they can't remember what their username is. I mean, they type it into the computer every single morning. And you'll ask them, and they have no clue. So, yeah, that's what you kind of have to assume. I wanted to be a vet, but had to give up my... Yeah, that's rough. You know, being a vet is hard work. You know, that's a commitment. If you're a vet, if you're going for a medical degree, if you're going to be a dentist, anything like that, it is all-encompassing. It's got to be almost your sole focus in life. And if you've got other things pulling your way, it just makes it harder. I admire you for doing that, though. That is It's a sacrifice. I thought for sure he was going to come smack me in the face and was not going to let me get the backdraft intercept. How did I miss that? And I hate this fight on this day because one, I missed the parry, or had the parry there, but he had stun immune up. His special 1 with 5 pierce debuffs up there hurts like a mother. Me too, half my job is basic troubleshooting for my employees. We all took the same training. Yep. Agree. All right. I'm just going to move into section 2 and then we'll run a friendly if you're still available. And there we are. All good for section 2 later. Yeah, and that's, to me, I took the job that I have now because I love it. I have fun doing my day job. I've been asked to take promotions and things like that, and I've turned them down. Yeah, the pay would be great, but for an additional $15,000, $20,000 a year, I'm not putting up with the headaches of being, a VP. I would much rather be, me on the front line, getting out there, playing with networks, playing with equipment, and figuring out how to configure a bunch of, medical equipment to work on networks and stuff like that. That to me is much more fun. Let's see if I can find you online. I see you online. Do you want to do global or do you want to do victory track? And I'll wait the 20-second delay that is normally there. I guess I'll select Gladiator. Victory track. Okay, you sent it. Perfect. I haven't run this meta in a long time. I don't remember what they are. I know it's similar to Gladiator Circuit. All right, let's see who we got here that we can get rid of. Don't want to fight you. Can do it, just don't like it. Don't have you in my deck. And don't have you in my deck, so we're just going to take you out. Okay, let me look at the nodes real quick. Nullify, regen, heal, or hide. Okay. I remember now. So we're going to go big boy. I'm a frost. Let's go Maestro. Go Boar. Ingrid. Doomy. Good old Doom. I don't know if we'll be good in this meta. I think we'll go this way. Would love to pull a better Doom counter than what I've got. I had to do the same. I started in psychology nursing, but had to stop to find it. I admire you guys. That is, it's a good thing to do. I would quit my job tomorrow if I needed to support my parents through health issues. My dad's going through some health issues now. Fortunately, I don't have to support him yet. So, my wife's job has been pretty much the last couple of years taking care of her mom. I admire it. It's tough because parents don't want to be taken care of by their kids. But for the one of mine that is in this chat, I am expecting you to take care of me and support me in my old age. Which, you know, I'm already at, so. Oh, I don't know how this is going to work, but we'll find out. And perfect control. Have a look to see if she was awakened or not. I am growing up. I'm completely old. Ah. Good. Glad you hit me a couple times. Okay, I'm gonna have to go special 3 with you, I think. Okay, throw that. We'll go special 3. This is slow. It should speed up dramatically here. There we go. I don't want to grow up. I want to be a Toys R Us kid. That'll date me in and of itself. Most of you don't even know what Toys R Us was. That's a tough matchup you selected there, Mike. I mean, that was around what? Okay, well, yeah. There's people in here that wouldn't remember it. Missing a chat. Oh, there it is. Oh, I'm not paying attention. There we go. We got it in time, I think. Yep. All right, let's try this out. Sorry, was busy looking at something. Reach on that heavy. And the fact that this is a gamma opponent should be pretty good. You know what, we're just going to go for it. First time I think I've taken it against somebody that was a gamma. Hashtag gamma. In there. All right. And that's a decent matchup. I ran that matchup last night that Mike's running now with Kindred and Overseer, Maestro. She's so good. Yep. And especially Gamma Champs that you can counter their heavy with her heavy, and that reach on her first hit of her heavy is is big. Go ahead and place your defense when you. Oh no, season's starting up. That's right. Ugh. I am kind of proud of my defense coming up though this season. Not to get any kills, but I'm kind of. GG's, Mike. Good game. Gave you some tough matchups in there. Alrighty, folks. I think that's going to do it, though. I am right at the 2-hour mark on stream. There's a very, very good possibility I will do another one this evening. I am not 100% sure. Don't know if it'll be MCOC. I don't know if it'll be World of Warcraft. It may be something else as I look to do some other things. You know, maybe branch off, do some different things. You know, tomorrow. That would explain it. That's hate it. But fortunately, it was just in a friendly and not in a real thing. So, tomorrow I'll be around. It'll probably be in the evening. Thursday and Friday will be when I do the Guillotine challenge for the Deathless Guillotine, and we will pick that up either Thursday or Friday. Maestro is a pain. You know, I was able to take one down with Kindred. I was able to take one down once with Chavez. You know, just finding a counter that is good for him is tough. So, but anyway, I do want to thank all of you for joining in. I enjoyed it tremendously. Enjoyed the conversations. Thank you all for the likes, the subscribes, and the support. And until I stream again, we'll see you in the next one. Take care, all.